In World War I, American GIs were among the many thousands killed by deadly gas in the trenches of Europe. In World War II, the Nazis used gas to inflict the horror of the Holocaust. Because these weapons can kill on a mass scale, with no distinction between soldier and infant, the civilized world has spent a century working to ban them. And in 1997, the United States Senate overwhelmingly approved an international agreement prohibiting the use of chemical weapons.
So from all your films, which one do you consider a turning point?
I don't know, really. Hopefully you're constantly finding new turning points. I think that Last King of Scotland was very important because it kind of, you were holding a film together. Even though you had an amazing performance from Forrest, you were still taking an audience through this journey, and that was an important lesson for me. Atonement was about playing somebody so beautiful and so, like, with a beautiful heart, and that was an important thing for me. But Filth was just something that's coming out just now, was in America, is probably the thing I'm most proud of ever. So yeah, you're constantly finding new things that define your peak, I suppose.
Stop.
You are godless, woman. Ain't you tired, Miss Haley? Ain't you tired? You is smart. You is important. You is smart. You is kind. You is important. Oh, that's so good. And still no silver.
Maybe I can't send you to jail for what you wrote, but I can send you for being a thief.
Who's teaching our kids how to speak correctly? Who? I mean, who even taught our parents or our grandparents to speak correctly? It was against the law for them to read. So anything they picked up on, it was just by hearsay.
Right.
If you was never properly shown how to read and how to write, you do the best you can. You survive. And that's what they did.
Yeah,
that's what they did.
that just came out of nowhere. It has roots in West African languages.
Right.
And people don't be trying to understand
the
that.
historical background of
exactly.
it. Right.
It's not about this is bad and this is good. We got to get out of that dichotomous thinking.
Right.
It's not bad and good. It's about teaching our kids what will enable them to be more successful in life, but not sacrificing what they already know.
Like if your son comes home one day after a long day of school, it says, "Mom," you ask him, "Son, do you have homework?" And your son goes, "I ain't got no homework."
Right.
Your son does not mean, Mother, I do not have any homework.
Right.
This one means I ain't got no homework.
Exactly what
and
he
it
said.
actually makes sense.
Right.
Folks just don't realize that when we be talking like that, we understand each other. And it's just a different way of expressing. Some things you just can't be saying in standard English.
As my students demonstrate all the time, they can read and they can speak in standard English, but when they get together, they prefer to talk in their own community language. And in fact, everyone really does prefer to speak in the language which identifies them with a particular community.
Black dialect is just a variety of the English. No one really goes around speaking standard variety English. The people that are really talking to our kids about, saying, you all don't need to speak that, or what y'all speaking, or that's slang.
Right.
They're speaking their own variety. People do not know
the difference between slang and dialect.
Exactly.
And slang is so widely accepted by both communities. I mean, you really don't know. I never have tried to hide how I speak. That's me, and that gives me identity. I want to be me. I don't want to be like everybody else. And if my language identifies me as somebody else or as part of the AAVE community, that is just fine with me, because that's me and that's my history and my family history as well.
Yeah.
It's because of the influence of Africans in this country that English has developed in the way that it has. And in fact, it's the presence of Africans in this country that has caused America to develop the way that it has.